All right, folks, imagine it's midnight. The moon's hanging like a bloated pumpkin in the sky. And somewhere out there, a gooey in a red leather jacket is about to unleash the kind of chaos that turns graveyards into dance floors. Yeah, we're talking Thriller, that Michael Jackson juggernaut that's been haunting our playlist since 1982, refusing to die like the zombies it celebrates. But here's the buried secret that's going to make your spine tingle. This wasn't just a pop hit. It was a Frankenstein's monster stitched together from disco beats, horror flicks, and enough behind-the-scenes drama to fill a crypt. Stick around, because we're unearthing the wild, wacky history of Thriller, the song that didn't just break records. It moonwalked over them and left the music industry, scratching its head, wondering what the hell just happened. Let's rewind to the ignition point where this beast was born. Picture Michael Jackson, already a sensation after Off the Wall, teaming up with producer Quincy Jones for what would become the Thriller album. But the title track? That gem came from Rod Temperton, a British bloke who'd cut his teeth with the band Heatwave. You know, the guys behind Boogie Nights, which is basically the soundtrack to every awkward wedding dance ever. Temperton was tasked with crafting something theatrical for MJ, who was obsessed with films. Originally, the song was called Starlight, with lyrics like Starlight, Starlight, Sun, which sounds more like a lullaby for insomniac astronauts than a horror banger. Temperton scrapped it, realizing it needed more bite. He swapped it to Thriller to evoke that spine-chilling rush, drawing from his love of old-school monster movies. And get this, the lyrics? They're a cheeky nod to the terror of a late-night date gone wrong. It's close to midnight, and something evil's lurking in the dark. That's not just poetry. It's straight out of every slasher flick where the girl trips over nothing, and the killer's got infinite cardio. Temperton meant it as a fun, funky take on fear, turning horror into a groove you could shimmy to. But here's a nugget that'll make you chuckle. MJ recorded those wolf howls himself after the studio's attempt sounded like a pack of asthmatic chihuahuas. He locked himself in a dark room and let loose. Talk about method acting. If only he'd howled at the moon for real, maybe we'd have a werewolf sequel album. Now diving into the album saga and the launch drama, oh boy, this is where it gets juicier than a vampire's midnight snack. The Thriller album was recorded over 8 grueling weeks at Westlake Studios in LA, with a budget that could have bought a small country. Quincy Jones, the wizard behind the boards, assembled a dream team. Synth wizardry on the ARP 2600 for that killer bass line, Greg filling gains tickling the Rhodes piano, and David Williams laying down guitar riffs that slither like a snake in the grass. But the real showstopper, Vincent Price's spoken word rap. Temperton scribbled it on a taxi ride to the studio. Yeah, in traffic. Because nothing says creative genius like dodging potholes while penning lines like, "Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand." Price, the horror icon from films like House of Wax, nailed it in 3 takes, his voice dripping with that creepy elegance. Fun fact, they recorded the background vocals in the studio's shower stall for that echoey vibe. MJ probably emerged sounding like a drowned rat with perfect pitch. But drama alert, Epic Records saw Thriller the song as a novelty, something to filler the album, not a single. Sales were dipping after the album's initial explosion, and MJ was desperate to keep the momentum. Enter the video, directed by John Landis of An American Werewolf in London fame. MJ loved that flick so much he cold-called Landis, who thought it was a prank at first. Michael who? Yeah, right. The video cost a whopping $500,000, the priciest ever at the time, and CBS wouldn't foot the bill for a third vid from the album. So MJ and Landis sold the making-of documentary to MTV and Showtime to fund it. Sneaky, huh? But wait, the real cliffhanger. MJ, a devout Jehovah's Witness back then, almost canned the whole thing. His religion frowned on the occult themes, and elders pressured him to pull the plug. He even tried to destroy the master tapes in a panic. Landis talked him down, and MJ added a disclaimer. Due to my strong personal convictions, I wish to stress that this film in no way endorses a belief in the occult.
Phew, close shave, or should I say close claw.
And just when you think it's smooth sailing, the launch hits turbulence. The video premiered on MTV in December 1983, but to qualify for an Oscar, because why not aim for Hollywood gold, they screened it in a Westwood theatre for a week, paired with Disney's Fantasia. Imagine families expecting dancing brooms and getting zombie hordes instead. Talk about a plot twist. The 14-minute epic features MJ transforming into a werewolf, then a zombie, leading a dance crew of the undead through foggy streets. Choreographed by Michael Peters, that iconic dance, arms thrusting, head snapping, became a cultural virus. But obscure trivia time. The girlfriend in the vid, Ola Ray, was a former Playboy playmate who later sued MJ over royalties, claiming she got stiffed. And the red jacket. Designed by Landis's wife, Deborah Nadulman, it's now a Halloween staple, though if you wore it to a party today, you'd probably get mistaken for a budget cosplayer. Launch-wise, Thriller. The single dropped in early 1984, hitting number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. But the video? It doubled album sales overnight, pushing Thriller to over 30 million copies sold in the US alone. Epic execs must have been kicking themselves for doubting it. Novelly, my ass. This was a revolution. Fast forward to the Ascent to Legend, and Thriller didn't just climb charts, it conquered them like a zombie apocalypse. Globally, the album's the best-seller ever, with estimates over 100 million copies, and the song's diamond certified for 10 million units in the US. But let's unpack those lyrics for the real meaning behind the song. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. That's Temperton channeling classic horror tropes, where fear and thrill blur into one adrenaline rush. It's not just about monsters, it's a metaphor for the excitement of romance mixed with danger, like dating someone who's a bit too intense. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it. Pure cinematic suspense, inspired by films like Night of the Living Dead. And Vincent's bit? Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. That's a satirical swipe at urban legends, turning everyday streets into battlegrounds. The ripple effects? Thriller broke racial barriers on MTV, which was whiter than a ghost before MJ. Suddenly, black artists got airtime, paving the way for hip-hop and R&B dominance. And the dance? It's been recreated in prisons. Yeah, that viral Filipino inmate video with 1,500 prisoners moonwalking in orange jumpsuits. What if they'd added real zombies? Total chaos. On a wackier note, the song's bass line was so infectious, Toto members like Steve Porcaro helped craft the album's sound. But Quincy and MJ had a spat over credits. Nothing says legendary collaboration like a good old ego clash. Now for the enduring impact and quirky aftermath, Thriller is immortal, re-entering charts every Halloween-like clockwork. In 2021, it hit number 19 on the Hot 100, making MJ the first artist with top 20 hits in 7 decades. Culturally, it's spawned everything from zombie flash mobs to parodies in South Park and The Simpsons. Obscure fact, the front cover of the album features a tiger cub named Thriller, MJ's pet obsession with exotic animals starting early. And the video's effects? Rick Baker's makeup turned MJ into a convincing Catman, winning Oscars for similar work elsewhere. But quirky aftermath? After MJ's 2009 death, Thriller surged, selling 167,000 copies in a week. It's been sampled in tracks like Rihanna's Shut Up and Drive, and there's even a Broadway musical, MJ, that recreates the dance. Satirical swipe. Record labels learn nothing. They still chase viral hits like zombies after Brains. What if Thriller flopped? We'd all be stuck with disco purgatory, no moonwalks at weddings. And here's a pun to chew on. Without Thriller, pop music would have been a real grave situation, deader than doornails. The song's meaning evolves too. Today it's about resilience, facing fears head on, like that chorus belt. 'Cause this is Thriller night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. Pure empowerment wrapped in fright. Wrapping this up, if Thriller teaches us anything, it's that genius thrives on the edge of madness. Mix horror with hooks, and you've got eternity. So if this wild ride through the history, facts and meaning behind the song got your blood pumping, smash that like button like it's a zombie's head, subscribe to the Rock Lore Vault for more unfiltered rock lore that bites back, and drop a comment. What's your favorite Thriller moment? The dance, the howls, or Vincent's velvet voice? Until next time, keep the midnight hour thrilling, because in rock history, the legends never truly rest in peace.